sorry. I was just swapping over to my laptop. My last interview went on a couple of minutes over. I'm sorry about that.
Ah, don't worry about it at all. It always happens. If you're not delaying, then you're not a famous rock star. So
Yes, exactly. Fashionably, famously late.
precisely. Tom, a huge pleasure to speak to you. I do know the fact you're stupid busy at the minute. You're on tour at the moment.
That's right. I've just done an 11-hour journey in a van and literally just got to my hotel and then straight to interviews because apparently I'm interesting enough for people to want to talk to me, which I don't know when that happened.
You just throw the short straw amongst the rest of the band. Is that what happened, really?
Yeah, I think they always just make me do the dirty work. No, I'm just the most charismatic by far.
I'm going to ask you one quick. This is going to be a really odd question. Um, is it lottery winners or the lottery winners?
God, I don't know. I get asked that a lot. And I suppose it's me who decides, and I probably should. But on some things with the lottery winners, on some things with lottery winners, I just want both. I don't want to make the
Brackets for
decision.
me.
Yeah.
Just one of those things I picked up, and I'm really anal about stuff like this when I'm posting on the website, and it's like, does it have a the or no the? And I'm getting emails through from the PR, and some have got and some not. And I thought the best person to ask would be you, and you're useless. So anyway, um, right, Tom, I'm going to be again honest as I am with everybody we interview. I know very little about the band beyond the fact that you opened for Nickelback a few months ago. I literally not heard of you before that. I'm not a chartsy person. I just follow what gets sent through our email. We get so much stuff that actually expanding my boundaries is tricky.
I know.
You weren't on my radar, and for that, I offer you the most humble apologies because that set supporting Nickelback blew me the hell away. You were fantastic.
Oh, thank you.
It's lovely, and this is a reason why I always tell people go and see the support band. Get there early when the doors open, see who's opening, because you guys went from you're about 10 years of not doing an awful lot, then you kind of clicked, exploded, and bam, a number one album. I mean, and it happens, and then everybody wants to come and see you.
Yeah.
People want to be seeing bands like you in the small venues before they have to pay 90 quid to go and see at the big ones. Absolutely. So a little bit of a snapshot. Tell us a little bit of the history band. When did you guys actually start? Because like I said, you exploded about 3, 4 years ago. Where did you come from?
Yeah, well, we got together in 2008, but I wouldn't say we were like, I don't know when it started to become the most serious thing in our lives. I think it always was for me in my head, but we were just doing pubs, man, and having a laugh and like, we'd always written songs,
Yep.
but and I always wanted to do this as a job and for my life, but there was a lot of training. I see it as it was like learning the ropes. It was learning to play in front of all these different audiences. I wouldn't have been ready to go and play to 25,000 people with Nickelback if I hadn't have played to five people in a pub in Wigan.
Yeah.
And I tell you, the five people, that's scarier. Like that's way scarier to me. So it's like, yeah, it was a lot of development, and they say that to be good at anything, you've got to put your 10,000 hours in,
Yeah.
and we were just doing that for a
Mhm.
long time. And like people have said, like I saw us described in an interview, in an article the other day as an overnight success, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
Um, and a lot of people are like, oh, does it feel like you've won the lottery now? Like, you're doing all these shows. And yeah, in a way, it kind of does. But it also feels like the lottery ticket was at the top of a mountain that I had to climb, to get, So yeah, man, I love it. I love getting to do this.
Yeah, because I spotted over the years, I use the fount of all knowledge, that's Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Um,
People
it
keep
just through.
changing that as a prank on us, I think. Some people who don't like us keep changing it and putting nasty things. I'm sure one of them said I was called Thom Micro Penis Rylance or something like that.
Doesn't still say that, but I'm going to go through the history and check it. One or two of the things I did throw up was some of the bands you've supported in the past, and what I love is how eclectic they are. I mean, Nickelback, obviously, big, huge stadium rock band. Um, but one of the other ones that really jumped out at me, you had Shed Seven, who are much more of an indie sort of rock band, and then you've got Tom Jones. Did you really open for Tom Jones as well?
We did it. We
That's
did a few songs
fantastic.
with Tom Jones. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Like that Nickelback tour, I was scared about because
Mhm.
we're kind of an indie band.
Yeah.
Um, there's rocky elements, but we're kind of an indie band. and we just come off a tour with Rick Astley. So to go from like we literally went from Rick Astley to Nickelback within a matter of weeks, and that I just like so in somewhere there is this Venn diagram with Nickelback on one side and Lottery Winners on the other, and there's this bit in the middle, and like that, and thankfully there are quite a few people in that bit in the middle, and
Mhm.
also in that bit in the middle, I've managed to write this song that Chad sings on for the record, and yeah, somehow it worked,
Yeah,
and you know why I think it worked? Because a lot of our music is about feeling like a bit of an outsider
yeah,
and not really fitting in and being a bit of an alien. And I think that maybe some Nickelback fans might feel like that. And also some Boy George fans might feel like that.
yeah.
And that's how it works, like I don't think I don't think it's down to like the genre so
Mhm.
much as like what's actually the emotions that it's making you feel.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. It's something I was going to come to there. Was about the meanings behind some of the songs because I know your the previous album, the one that did really well for you,
Yeah.
is Anxiety Replacement Therapy, which you described once as a self help tape. I think was a description of it, or something along those lines. Yeah,
Yeah.
self help tape. Yeah, was that a deliberate thing? Do you? And this comes from a lot of artists. Do you write from personal experience? Do you write from the experience of others? Is this kind of cathartic for yourself?
Oh man, like it was a self-help tape, but for me, like it wasn't supposed to help anyone else, really. Like that is my therapy, writing those songs and getting it out of me. It's the only way I can deal with my emotions, really.
Yeah.
Uh, I think like part of having ADHD is having difficulty regulating emotions, but the way that I've found that I can do it is by pouring it out of me into songs. And I'm so glad that I've got that outlet. And then also I have this bonus that other people can really relate to the things that I'm saying and take comfort in that too, just in the way that I could when I first heard Nirvana or first heard, the Smiths or these bands that I used to play in my headphones that I felt like they were talking directly into my soul. If I can have even 1% of that feeling that I got, if I can give that to somebody, then I'm a very happy man.
Yeah, it seems to be a theme that runs through quite a few of the artists we've interviewed, and I think over the last decade or so, talking about this, and we all say we should always talk about our emotions, we should open up more. It's really starting to happen, and I think a lot of people are then starting to realize that artists are doing this and have been doing it for an awful long time. You listen to the music from bands as wide ranging as Papa Roach, Linkin Park in particular, Ginger from the Wild Hearts, and some of these artists are unfortunately, obviously, Chester is no longer open about his problems because of obviously the decision he made, but so many other artists are open about this, and I think that really helps people relate to it. They're not just hearing song lyrics; they're hearing somebody's lyrics. They're not lyrics from a song; they're lyrics that somebody has written. And I think that connection, and you sitting here telling me this, makes that
Yeah.
connection all the stronger. And I'm
For
thinking if
me, I,
that's
I don't think there's anything worse than like a disingenuous song. I think you can really hear through it. Like it's so
yeah,
transparent. You can hear when a song's been written around a boardroom table by a bunch of people who want to tick some boxes
yeah,
and make it popular. Like I won't name anyone in particular, but you know what I mean. Like you can really hear that. And some of the those artists you've just mentioned, like Hybrid Theory, one of my favorite albums of all time. Like growing up listening to Linkin Park and Infest, Papa Roach,
yeah,
just like that changed who I was as a person as well. So I think like it does kind of transcend the genres. And it's about the feel. I listened to Papa Roach when I was feeling angry,
yeah,
and and that it's kind of take it out of me, and that's what I needed at the time. And like Linkin Park, a lot of feeling like alienated, like that was like a theme on Hybrid Theory as well. And yeah, man, I think it's dead important. It's so important to talk about how you feel, and if you can do it in a way that people enjoy, then
yeah.
you're onto a winner.
Yeah, we were lucky enough. We interviewed Eric Bass from Shinedown recently as well. And again, you're saying that writing the music is the only way for you to really get everything out. Almost word for word what he said. The writing
Yeah.
process is his one way of dealing with everything and getting it all out there as well. So I mean, it's something that's magnificent for you, and the flip side of it is it's hugely beneficial for other people as well. Because I think it makes them realize, as I said, somebody else is feeling the way they do, and they'll talk about it as well.
Yeah, I think writing the song, that's like the therapy. That's like getting it out and talking about it. And then when I get to perform it and see a reaction and people singing it back, then that's like when I'm absolved
Yeah.
of those feelings. Like that's when it's taken away. So like it's a really good system. I
Obviously
like
is.
it.
And I'm assuming this carries on because Coco sounds like quite a that's just a nice little bouncy album title, and it's actually short for something, isn't it?
Yeah, keep on keeping on.
There's
Which
a
is
message.
Yeah, it's a message. It's something that, my family have always said, my grandparents said that to me when in the tough times and, getting expelled from school and feeling like broken and not understanding why I wasn't allowed to be around my friends and I had to be separated. I had to keep on keeping on, Tom, is what
Mhm.
they tell me. And so I wanted to make an album. And it kind of happened by accident. I wrote a load of songs and I'd realized that I'd said it. I'd literally said it in like 8 of the 12 songs.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh shit, well, I think that's what this album is then. They write themselves, man. I'm just an aerial. I just sit there and they come out of me. And I'm a passenger in the whole thing. And then I get to kind of experience it for the first time when it's done.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I've had a few listens to the album. My review was going to go up a little while back, but I was told with the album being pushed back, I'm not allowed to really put the review up till the very end of this week, beginning of next. But
Oh God, that
um,
makes me nervous. I hate reviews.
if it makes you feel any better, it's going to be a positive one.
Okay.
Uh, the first track I actually picked out for no reason at all was Three Wishes, which is a very different song from the other songs in the album. For those who'll get a chance to hear it, it's basically it's an acoustic ballad. It's very simple. It's very stripped back, and the lyrics are lovely. If anybody else had sung it, it would have sounded like one of those twee songs that are written around a board table, like you're saying. But it's
Yeah,
because you go back and you know your lyrics in the other albums. It's like that's lovely. And the line I am going to put in the review because it's written but it's not published yet is it's nice music by nice people for nice people. And I
yeah.
think that song sums it all up. It's absolutely spot on.
Thanks,
Um,
mate. I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. Thank you.
so could you take us through one or two of the other songs on the album, or take us through that one if you like?
Well, the kind of theme of the album is I got my ADHD diagnosis finally after
Mhm.
years of wondering and waiting and knowing, but needing the confirmation.
Yeah.
And when I finally got the kind of physical confirmation, it brought up all these feelings I wasn't ready for. Like, I kind of felt relieved, and I felt like a weight off my shoulders and a lot less guilty for fucking everything up for so many years. But then I also felt like there was like a bereavement and like, well, but I did fuck everything up for so many years and it kind of wasn't my fault. So why wasn't I helped? Where was the support? Like, why is it taking this long? I didn't have to be a sad kid,
Yeah.
kind of that's making me emotional saying shit like that. But so it was kind of like that's the themes on the record and looking back and it's like I'm forgiving myself a little bit and I'm exploring some of the moments, the kind of key moments. Like there's a song called Panic Attack,
Mhm.
which is about like my first panic attack, which I unfortunately I've had a lot since then. And with that song, I wanted to make it the summariest, most melodic, jauntiest little song with, it's got a kids choir on it. There's literally kids singing Panic Attack because I had to mask those feelings as a kid for so long that I wanted the song to kind of mask it, which I think is very clever. So
Mhm.
it's like it's got
Subtle.
this really, really intense subject matter of something really dark
Mhm.
with this mask of this summer over it because I'd always have to pretend I was okay when I wasn't.
Mhm.
and and that's what that song's doing. So if I could win some kind of award for that, I think it would be very justified.
Yeah. I mean, just circling back, you mentioned about being expelled from school. Do you mind telling us why?
Yeah, no worries, man. Like I was kicked out of primary school and high school, and I didn't fit into the system. I
Yeah.
just didn't, couldn't learn like of the other kids, and that made me I got distracted, and then I'd be a distraction
Yeah.
and a burden And so the easiest thing was to take me out of the situation. And I was always being removed from situations, and I didn't really understand why.
Yeah,
And all I knew is that I was broken. Like it wasn't like I was making the decision to be bad or naughty or not be able to learn.
yeah,
That was a decision that I was consciously making. It just kept happening.
yeah,
So it was a struggle, and it took me a long time to accept myself, and it took me a long time to find my people,
mhm.
that would stick with me, and I've found that in the band. My best friends I get to travel the world with. I'm sure I still distract them and piss them off, but they love me, and I'm really grateful for that. But for a long time, it was rough, man. I didn't think that I was ever going to be anything. I think they put a lot of pressure on kids, or they certainly did when I was at school.
Yeah,
It was like, oh, if you don't do well in your exams, then you're just going to be a junkie, and you'll do nothing, and like you're never going to make anything in your life. But I was never going to do well in my exams
yeah,
because it wasn't tailored for me. It was tailored for other people that can do that, but
yeah,
that wasn't me. I'm a creative man. Like I wanted to make stuff and like draw pictures and come up with stories, and like that's where I felt alive. And it wasn't doing some science exam or a maths exam. So I was never going to be able to do it. And so like now I'm hoping that schools are a lot better equipped to deal with it, and a lot more supportive. And from experience, they are, because I've been going into high schools and speaking to kids with ADHD, like specifically, and because I'm passionate about it, and just saying, look, yeah, all right, you might not do well in your exams, and it's not the end of the world. Like, I didn't, and I'm touring the world, and I've seen so many countries. I wake up every day and I don't dread going to work. I love it.
yeah.
And isn't that the meaning of life? You
Well,
know?
here's a little spin for you. I'm the same. For about 13, 14 years, I have not woken up once, not wanted to go into work. What's my full-time job?
I don't
What is my
know.
full-time job?
It's this, isn't it?
Nope. This is my
What do you
hobby.
do?
My full-time job, I'm a computer science teacher in a school in Scotland.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
So I've been teaching primary and secondary school for almost 15 years now. And I can say that I have seen your story several times.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't go into details because
Yeah.
children, whatever, but I have seen pupils behaving the way that you are behaving. I have seen pupils getting the treatment. I've seen them being diagnosed, and I've seen them turn into who they should be, who they really are. And you're right. It's
You know
something
what,
which,
man?
yeah,
Like some teachers are so important, and the good teachers, and I feel like you are. Like I'm sure you are a
I
good
like to
teacher.
think I am.
Yeah, of course. But like I had one, and it was my music teacher in high school, and I was written off by every other teacher apart from him. And he like gave me the school guitar and said, "Take that home, and you're gonna learn it, and you're gonna be in the school band." And I was like, "What do you mean? I can't do that? I can't." And he's like, "Yes, you can. I can see this. You can do this. Take that home." And I did, and I poured myself into it, and it changed who I was. And then from that, I was now one of the kids who had a guitar. And then I met all the other kids with guitars, and had like a friend group, and we all listened to Papa Roach and Linkin Park and Slipknot and Thom. And it really, that just like one act from a teacher there, he didn't have to do that. That was one of hundreds of kids that in the school, but he took his time and helped me, and it's making me emotional. But yeah, it changed my life. It really did.
Yeah, I've heard that a few times, and it's spotting little things like that. And I think these days people do spot things more like that. It's more we're more aware of it. It's more likely that somebody is going to be like your music teacher. They're going to go. There's something up here. The support for learning we have. Funding sucks, but the
Yeah,
people there want to do a good job. It's like the NHS. There isn't a bad person working in the NHS apart from the bean counters at the top. Every member of staff there is wonderful and fantastic. They're just
good.
lacking resources. And I think the education, it's the same sort of thing. But for every one kid like you who gets spotted and gets the assistance and gets the help, whether they end up doing a plumbing job or whether they end up overcoming whatever problem they've got and going to university, whether they end up playing on stage in front of 20,000 people supporting Nickelback, every one of those is a success story.
Yes,
And that's just
absolutely.
where we need to be.
You said it perfectly. Helping people become who they're supposed to be,
Mhm.
like that. That's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, you're now doing the job that you love. I'm doing a job that I love. And the advice I give to all the kids, and this is going out to everybody out there. I don't care whether you're 14 or 40. This advice is find what you like and do that.
Yeah,
Because
just do that. It's simple,
do
isn't
that.
it? Do the thing you love. Like,
There is a way to make a living out of it. Do what you love. There is a way of doing it.
yeah,
Don't
for
force yourself down a
sure.
miserable path, hating what you do just so you can make a living. If there is a way of making money from what you love, do that. Be happy. Don't be rich. Or do both.
Oh, I'm certainly not rich. There's no money in music, I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
And
unless
and
you're Nickelback.
that is different, difficult as well. Like this is a whole separate issue.
Yeah.
But to be like a working class kid
Mm.
trying to make any kind of career in the arts, you are stacked up against it. So you got yeah, be happy or be rich. I think
Yeah.
it's one or the other.
Pick one. And honestly, being happy is better. It's
I totally agree. I
I've done
totally
both. I've been in jobs that I hated, but paying the bills, and then you find one that just clicks, and you're like, yeah, yeah, this is me. This is me.
for sure.
Um, okay, I'm going to move on a little bit because I am conscious. I know your last interview ran on. I don't want to be one of those guys again. So,
Totally.
I've got a couple of little things just to ask you, just to make the interviews a bit different. You're from Lee, near Manchester.
Yeah.
I'm going to test your knowledge of your local area. Three trivia
Oh
questions about Lee.
God. No, no, I'm gonna get disowned by my own town. But go
Okay,
on.
one of
I'm
them's
no good at
tricky. I
quizzes.
think I think one of the two of them you'll get. I think one of them's tricky. I'll give you the tricky one first.
Okay.
Okay. Lee comes from the old English word of a similar pronunciation, which means what?
I have literally no idea. So leaf, I guess, would be the word.
You're actually, it's to do with nature. Yeah.
Okay. Oh. Well, I'm just gonna go with like tr forest or tree or something like that. What? Give it me though.
I'm going to give you that.
Can I have that point?
You can
What?
have that
What?
point. It's a woodland, a glade, or a meadow. Do you talk about trees? Trees is woodland. Yeah.
So trees and forestry. Yes, I'm
There you
having
go.
that.
We'll
By the
go
way, it
with
doesn't look like that now though.
that. I know. I've seen pictures. I've been Manchester. Um, okay. What is the name of Lee's professional rugby league team?
Lee leopards are
There you
massive.
go.
Yeah.
Nice, easy one there for you. And a last one. What is the pointy structure that's placed in the civic square?
Oh, this the pointy structure that's played. Is it the cenotaph?
It's not the
Well, I,
cenotaph.
oh God, I don't know what that is.
It's got a bench next to it, which I think is named after a TV chef. And it looks like it's named after a film star, the bench, but it's not him, it's somebody else.
I don't know this. I didn't even know we had a pointy structure or a civic square. Are you sure you're talking about the right Lee?
I am
There is
talking about the
Lee
right
on
Lee.
C.
I double checked it. This is the bit where I find out I'm not. No, this is definitely the one. It's an obelisk.
Oh, maybe I have heard someone say that.
I think it's a red sandstone one or something. But yeah, it's a grade two listed structure apparently. There we go.
And who's the film star?
Well, there's a bench next to it called Michael Caine's bench, but I gather that it's Michael Caine's with an S on the end, who's a TV chef,
Brewer.
I think.
Oh, I think you might be. I think this
Have
might
I
be
got?
in New Willows.
Ah, so it's nearby, is it?
I think it might be nearby. I don't really know much about Newtonley Willows, but I think it might be there. But if I'm wrong, I'm really sorry to every Leifer. I am one of you.
Or alternatively, I screwed up because I'm the guy that wrote the questions and you're right, and you've just got a bonus point for pointing out it's not here, but told me where it actually is. We could go
I
with that.
think that might be more likely, and I will take the heroes welcome when I return from this tour.
And talk about that. You're abroad at the moment. Whereabouts are you at the minute?
Munich.
You're in Munich, smashing. You're back over in the UK in is it a few weeks for a run of headline dates?
Yeah, God, it never stops, man. We fly home from Paris on the 21st, which is the day the album comes out,
Yep.
and then we will be kind of working that all week, and then we're out on a bunch of outdoor tours
Hmm.
um, until May, and then in May till October, we're out with Robbie Williams,
Hmm.
playing in stadiums, which is insane, and also doing loads of festivals everywhere, and then. I believe we might have a minute to breathe for the beginning of October, and then we go back out on tour in the UK and Europe. So yeah, it's pretty much non-stop.
It's busy. So I think all the runner dates has come, the runner UK dates has come up, it was all sold out. And I believe there were still a few tickets left for the ones at the tail end of the year. So
Yeah, I don't even know if they're announced yet, so there'll be all the tickets left, the
yeah,
ones at the end of the year. But I think everything's pretty much selling out these days, which is bananas. Like that makes me feel very cool.
it's good. But so the album was actually put back by a month as well, wasn't it? It was meant to come out in February. It's put back to
Yes.
March.
Yeah, we blame that on manufacturing issues, but I won't lie to you. It was because Sam Fender was releasing an album and I wanted a number one, and I knew he was going to do 100,000 copies, and he did. So I'm very much glad. I don't mind going up against some pop stars. Like
Mhm.
we're still up against some pop stars, and we got our number one album against some big pop stars last time too.
Yeah.
But I'm not going up against Sam Fender. I'm not stupid. So we moved it.
A fair point. And with it being February, that's all right because it's the same date. We just changed in the month. It's
Just
December.
change the month.
It says it's a typo. It was no 21st to the 3rd, not the 2nd.
Yeah, man. I don't think anyone will even notice.
Well, I've been listening to it for about 3 weeks now anyway. So, but
Thank you,
yeah,
mate.
so that album comes out in about 2 weeks, give or take. It's my review will be up the tail end of this week, beginning of next. I will get this interview posted maybe this evening if I get a good job on. If not, it'll be up tomorrow.
Oh,
Tom, it has been a massive, massive pleasure. I'm very much looking forward to seeing you in Glasgow. Off the top of my head, I think it's St. Luke's you're playing, which is actually a venue, bizarrely, after 15 years here, I've never actually been to yet.
I'm
Um,
so sorry to break it to you, but we played that like a couple of weeks ago, St. Luke's. It was a great night.
I know I couldn't get to that
Yeah.
one, but
Yeah, that's you missed that. But I believe we'll be back. We'll be back.
yeah,
I think we're
I'll
looking
keep an eye out anyway. But at some point,
yeah.
I will catch you again because that Nickelback show blew me away, and I've been going on about you ever since. So,
Oh,
wherever
great.
whatever it is you're hitting up here next, consider me in the crowd for that one.
Oh, it'd be great to hang out properly, mate. I really enjoyed this chat.
No, absolutely. Likewise. If we can swing it via the PRs and something like that, I'll get you a beer or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know if you drink or not, but whatever. I'll grab you a drinky.
Not anymore. 3.5 years now.
Congratulations. Well
I'll
done. Keep
take
it
a
going.
diet.
I will get you the largest Diet Coke to sell.
Thank you, mate. Right, I'm going to order some room service because I bloody deserve it. And I'm going to go on that bed and take my pants off and chill.
I am so glad this camera's going off before that happens. Tom, thank you
All
so
right,
much for your
mate.
time. I really appreciate it. Have a fantastic rest of tour. We'll see you when you get back to the UK. And best of luck with the album. I'm sure it's going to zoom up to the top of the charts again.
Thank you very much, mate. I hope so. See you soon.
Grand. You too. Take care. Cheers. This episode is copyright The Moshful Times. Introductory music by Elliot Alderman Broom. And any music used throughout the episode is copyright to the original performers and creators.